And now it's time to bring up the headliner of the evening, a very special gentleman. Please welcome to the stage, Bobcat Goldthwait.
Masturbated in my life. Scott Baio is the Antichrist.
Thank you very much. Where are you from? And where are you from? And what do you do for a living? Thank you. My wife is so fat.
How fat is she?
She's real fat. I don't have a joke for everything, you know. Is that a big night for you, coming down here and tormenting me? Hello, hi, how you doing? Where you from? What do you do for a living? My wife is so fat. I saw that new movie, Jaws. Two guys walked into a bar. What is it with these television commercials nowadays? I'm not gonna lie. Recording an album is, like, extremely frightening for me because, like, if it's not, like, funny, you know in about 3 months, you'll be like in a car wash, going through that cutout bin. With all the records, you know, waiting for the car to get clean. And there I'll be like behind the Ape Vigoda live at the Hollywood Bowl album. Be my album. And around 4 hours, I'll be stuck. I'll probably end up being like placed right behind the Tito Jackson solo album. Say what you will about Tito Jackson, but I always thought he had the real talent in that family. Animals are our friends, but they won't pick you up at the airport. I do comedy. I'll take you back a little bit. I didn't always do this before. I used to bag groceries professionally. And then I lost my job. No way. Wait, I didn't really lose my job. I knew where the job still was. Just when I went there was this new guy doing it. Oh. I like playing Igby's. You know, you want to hang on to those disco balls, because, you know, you never know when the average white band might have a comeback tour. Right away, I would like to apologize. I guess that's for the stereo effect. Right away. Comedy. See, I'm recording this album and it's so frustrating because I don't know any jokes. I hear jokes all the time. People always, you know, if you're in my line of work, people are, they just fester to tell you a joke. People will recognize me and go, hey, I got a good joke for you. Do you want to hear a joke? Yeah, that'd be a treat, yeah. I haven't heard jokes every night of my life for 10 fucking years. Yeah, that'd be a real special occasion. The reason I don't like jokes is because jokes essentially are just tiny little lies, you know, and, you know, because they're never true, right? People always go, like, look, come on, guy, go, let me tell you a joke. I go, okay, yeah, okay. Guy says, okay, like, these two guys, wait, I messed it up. Get it right, pal, you know. These two guys, no, wait, there's a black guy and a priest, right? And then they walk into a bar, right? And then there's a parrot there and a dog and a bunch of other assorted animals, but they're from a different joke that I'm not gonna get into right now. I'll show you where they lose me. At this point, they go, so then the guy, he orders a drink, and then this monkey runs down the stairs, and he puts his dick in the guy's drink, right? This is where they lose me. This is exactly the point where they lose me, because then the guy goes, and then the guy says, Like you would need a punchline? Like, if you saw primate genitalia go into an alcoholic beverage, your head would fucking explode. You wouldn't have a punchline, you'd be going, "Ah, did you say that? The monkey put a dick in a guy's drink! The monkey put a dick!" You would pay those people to follow you around just so you could prove that story was true. You would say, "Come here, tell him about the monkey," and he put the goddamn dick in the drink. And then the guy says, "So that's why I don't have any jokes. These are the same ingredients as in a battery. There's so many chemicals in a can of Tab. It says right here, they can't even put it all on one side panel. It says, see other can." Swigert said that E.T. was the devil. And then he said that all rock and roll songs were written by Satan. Okay, maybe a few. Granted, right. But I just think Satan is way, way too busy, running Heritage USA to be writing songs. That's another thing. This big thing, it's like $100 million because Heritage USA, that's that God theme park. Don't you think if God wanted to get into the theme park business, maybe he would have made Disney the Pope, So, I find it hard to believe that Satan is sitting down in hell. He's in the bowels of hell going, "God, I haven't written anything in a couple weeks. Jeez, I need a... Beelzebub, what do you think of this? Hip to be square. How do you think? Let's see. I need something. We are the world. Hello, woman who bought this album for your son. He's jerking off right now! Let's hope to God that this goes on CD, You don't want to miss any of my pithy nuances, Boy, the clarity. People feel motivated to come up to me at this point in my career and go, "I used to like you. You used to be funny." Well, I just met you and you suck. Kind of scary, People always going, "We need a good war." Did you ever hear this one? We need a good war because there's no unemployment during wartime? Well, yeah, that's because a dead guy can't flip a burger. I'm a left-wing lunatic, and don't applaud that. There's a real thin line between comedy and dictatorship. Goldthwait for president? No. Thank you, that's very kind, but I really couldn't afford the cut and pay. I spoke at the White House. Yeah, I know you don't believe that, but I did. I'll tell the story. So I went out there and said, Bob Woodward told me that William Casey's last words were Rosebud. See, I am like this left-wing lunatic, and I was watching Oliver North, and I'm going, good, let's give it to this guy, causing troubles around the world, giving guns to the Iranians, being this covert, sneaky guy. I got like popcorn, I'm going, turn on the hearing. I'm into the thing for about 5 minutes. I'm watching Oliver North, and I go, he's got like some really valid points. One of the most amazing performances I have ever seen in my entire life. Outside of De Niro and Taxi Driver, that was probably the most incredible acting job I've ever seen in my life. I'm like buying it, the hook, line, and sinker, I'm going, yeah, I'll, send him a little telegram. Oh, by the way, those telegrams, yeah, right, like they couldn't just get like a bunch of yellow paper and go, this is how many people love him. So, but I finally kind of figured out his trick. Is it just like when they would almost get something incriminating on him, he'd get all humble on you, and And he'd try to look like Treat Williams a little more than he already does. So I got confused. Now, didn't he get fired and then he kept showing up in his uniform? I mean, I've been fired from numerous jobs, but you don't see me tooling around in a Burger King outfit tonight. So, I'm watching him, I'm going, okay, and then all of a sudden, like, just when they almost had him, he'd get all humble on you, and then his voice would go down, and he'd go, when American lives are in danger. Oh, then he'd talk to Wally Cox, that Wally Cox guy he had, his lawyer. Like, don't you wish you had one of those guys with you everywhere you went? Can I help you? My attorney informs me they tell you to blow me. So he looked at Mr. Peepers, right? And he go, when American lives were in danger. Yes, I did stab that puppy in the head 7 or 8 times. And Congress would like whip out their lighters. Ole! 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 They get frisbees out. They'd be knocking a beach ball around back and forth. And then like a security guy would take it away, and then they all go, boo. I've never understand that phenomenon at a rock concert where they take away the beach ball, and then everyone goes, boo. Like, you know, it's like, you'll be thanking me later. This beach ball could have poked your eye out. Oh, I gotta talk about Satan for a while right now because I want the Washington Wives to ban my record so it sells a few billion copies. Tippy Gore, sniff my anal vapors. That'll do it. We're talking platinum now. You know, I just want her to like be reading my album out loud in Congress would be the ultimate thrill. And then Mr. Goldthwait said, aga. I never masturbated in my life. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Had another near miss the other day. Everyone's going, God, all these near misses. I just don't follow it. Why are there so many near miss airplane collisions, you know? Got my own theory. About 4 years ago, the air traffic controllers went on strike about 4 years ago. And then, you know, Reagan said, let me help out. I can fix this. Gentlemen, everyone who's on strike, you're fired. So they just hired anyone who was hanging out at the time. Excuse me. Hi. What are you doing, man? You got a mic there and you're going, guys like going, Paul is dead. Pull out. I don't want to be like playing this tape band going, so where are we going to go out to eat afterwards? You hungry? I'm a little parched, yes. No, seriously, yeah, I've been tested. It's cool. Let's go. Oh, back to my funny sketch. People are going, you know, so he fired the air traffic controllers and they just hired anyone who was hanging out at the time. You know, like there's janitors and stuff. And they go, excuse me, have you ever played like Space Invaders or anything? Now everyone's going, God, how come there's so many plane crashes lately? I don't know, maybe Walt the janitor is not qualified to land a Boeing 707. I'm sorry, I can't blame Reagan for everything. Blaming Ronald Reagan for the way things are today is kind of like blaming Ronald McDonald when you get a bad cheeseburger. Neither of them run the company. They would look at the want ads. Wanted a jolly guy with dyed hair. So I'll exploit my daughter for some cheap laughs. The most precious thing in my life. My bride and myself, we pounded out a baby. She's 9 months now. Pounding out a baby. I think that's pretty sensitive 80s male of me, isn't it? And I was there during the delivery. I'll tell you what kind of self-centered prick I am. we had a C-section. That's, instead of the baby coming out normally, they just cut my bride open and took the baby out, which was kind of interesting because they just took my baby out. When she came out, she was smiling, because most kids got those pointy heads when they're born. Because, they go through that, like, Play-Doh fun factory of life. So, my baby came out and she was smiling when she was born, which is pretty weird. And, because obviously she didn't see who the old man was right now. Yeah, my father! Ah! I'll be back in here until I can drive. So I was there. This is what a self-centered jerk I am. Like, they said, Mr. Goldthwait, we're going to have a C-section. And instead of going, God, man, that's going to be so painful, I went, oh, great, like, I took Lamaze for nothing. So, I'm there in the operating room. They take my baby out. And I'm not making this up. The doctor wanted me, this being California, they still wanted me to be part of the experience. So, they said, Mr. Goldthwait, would you like to cut the cord? And I sincerely said this. I said, isn't there anyone a little more qualified? Like, I'm the guy in the operating room. You go, yeah, no, not the doctor. Let's give him the sharp thing. Let's give him the sharp thing around the infant. I said, I'll cut the cord if you knock like $200 off the bill. So then they took my baby into that baby aquarium, that room with all the screaming babies, and everyone's going, is that your baby? And I go, no. Is that your baby? No. Every baby looks like me. They have no hair and they're screaming their heads off. That yours? No. I'll tell you what I know about sports. I know that if your team wins, later that evening, if they win a championship, you can legally do anything you want. Because I was in San Francisco after the 49ers won some sort of sporting event, right? And I'm driving around. I'm touring around in my Honda Civic. You said you had a Honda Civic? No way. Excellent. Yes, I did. Yeah, no. I had, headers on it and stuff. It was excellent. Craigie's, a glass pack. So I'm touring around in my Honda Civic. Got it to the floor, yeah. All of a sudden, this like Neanderthal type looking guy jumps out. I'm not making this up. Jumps out from behind the tree, throws a lit flare at my car. Bam! Hits my car. Ah! I go, what the hell's your problem? I pick up the flare. I'm shaking it. I go, what the hell's your problem? You have my car with a flare. And he looks at me and he was very articulate and he said, Niners. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's the flare back. See if you can't hit that old woman driving the Pinto. I don't drink or take drugs. I find it very hard to believe. I don't tell other people not to, but I don't. See, I don't take drugs because I wanted to kill myself when I took them. That's why I don't. I was never sitting at home with like a pile of blow, a shotgun, and a pit bull. And I said, now I'm going to use one of these. And I was all ready to do the cocaine, and then I looked up on the TV set, and then like Nancy Reagan said, just say no, little Bobcat. Silly fucking me, Nance. Let me call Keith Richards right now. Keith, just say no. So the Reagan administration cut all the funding to detox centers, and then Nancy says, hey, kids, get off the drugs. Where am I supposed to get sober? Where am I supposed to get off the drugs? There's no detox centers anymore. What am I supposed to go to my parents' house, go, hi, Mom, Dad? I think I'm on fire and I have insects in my brains. That's nice. Who is it? It's Bobby. He says he's on fire. Again? Last time I drank for 2.5 days, and I took acid, took mescaline. Wonderful drug, the drug that keeps giving, you know, it's like... I think it should say right on the bottle of beer, no, don't take with acid. Oh, man, I was like hitchhiking with no pants on in a snowstorm. And I go, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? You got a fucking problem? What's your problem? What the fuck are you staring at, fuckhead? Mescaline kicks in. Guy's got like fur coming out of his head, whiskers. You know, I can kick the shit right out of you, wolf boy. And the cops pull up. And if you've ever been to Boston, the cop cars look a lot like the cab cars. I'm going, excellent. All right. You know. Jump in the back seat. How you guys doing, man? They're going. Cop goes, where you going? I said, Bahamas. He looks at the other cop. Well, I think we can go there too, huh? So I'm talking to the guys, and I'm like out of my skull. And suddenly these cops were my best friends ever. You know, when you get all fucked up, everybody's your best friend. I'm going, you know, you guys are really excellent for cops. You know that? You are excellent cops. You guys are excellent cops. And then he goes, I think you're on some kind of drug. And when he said that, his face went, Suddenly, I'm looking at a lava lamp with a hat. He goes, I think you're on some kind of drug. I said, I am not, but could you do that again? No big fan of the NRA. I can understand why you'd want a gun. It's in the Constitution and everything. And I think defending yourself is a very valid thing because occasionally it really does happen. But the odds are, the statistics show that if you own a gun, there's a good chance that you're either going to get shot with it by someone who breaks in, or you're going to get liquored up and kill mom. That was the worst meatloaf I've ever had in my life, lady. You know, my mother used to always do, if you have more than one kid in your family, your mother will always do this. Oh, I thought you were the one that liked pork lips. I thought you were the one. You don't like bloody chicken colons? Bobby doesn't. Bobby's not the one that likes bloody chicken colons. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I got it wrong. It's her way of trying to, like, get some bad leftovers eaten. By the way, just to piss everyone off who does actually buy the record, and we're pretty excited because the record company thinks that it'll probably go vinyl, and turn the fucking record over!